Hello everyone, I'm Dr. Ameenah. I'm the overall best graduate medical student in West Avila in 2025. I went away with over 20 awards out of 32 awards for the College of Health Sciences students. I've been described as an academic weapon because of this. And then today I'm here to share my personal journey with the lessons I learned in medical school and then the methods that shaped my success. So starting from the beginning, I won't consider myself as someone who wanted to study medicine, my actual choice from university was atomic and nuclear physics, and then I was somehow convinced and then somehow directed to apply for medicine. As first in secondary school, you're supposed to study medicine. So I applied for medicine in my JAM form, and then I got admission to study medicine. So coming to 100 level, I was not one of those who had special ambitions, because I knew that medicine was a gathering of a lot of intelligent people from different secondary schools. So yeah, I knew that it was going to be a leveling ground, and I just aimed to do my best. At the end of 100 level, by a very slight chance, I had 5.0 over 5.0 GP, like a perfect CGPA, and I would say it's a slight chance because I had a lot of 70s, and then in the University of Learning system, 70 upwards is an A. Moving on to 200 level, I was hit by the sudden transition into anatomy, physiology, biochemistry, a lot of strange courses, and then I had to struggle. In fact, 200 level was my worst preclinical year, and then 400 level was my worst clinical year. So I had to struggle with the transition into preclinical courses, and had to find new methods and then new ways to cope. And then I had one of my lowest scores in medical school in 200 level. That was anatomy to be the IBS, where I had 59.5, and yeah, I was not particularly happy, but I knew that I did my best in my exams. I struggled with outlines, forming outlines, cramming for exams. In 100 level it was CBT, but in 200 level now we started writing exams. So I studied with outlines, cramming for the theory exams, retaining information, doing anatomy diagrams in exams. So it was just a lot. But then I would say that people had eyes on me already in 200 level, because there was this particular class with Professor Alabi that he asked us to identify ourselves, like those that had 5.0 CGPA in 100 level. He asked us to identify ourselves. So moving on to 300 level, that's where I had some academic breakthrough. In my most difficult course, which was anatomy, I had 80s in my neuroanatomy and my head and neck anatomy exams. Then I'll say that I recognize anatomy as a challenge, as the most challenging course for me in preclinical, and I put in more effort, spent more time reading anatomy, learning with my letters at last. Whatever I didn't understand, I will go online to just teach my anatomy. Then go online to teach my anatomy, get the basic stuff, basic understanding, learned how to do my anatomy diagrams, learned how to make my outlines, set goals for myself, and then I an active recall too. And then so I had a breakthrough with my anatomy, and I started scoring high in anatomy. Yes, on other courses, physiology and biochemistry, I just continued doing my best, and yeah, I continue to have like high average scores, not like the highest in class, but then close to the highest in class. So at the end of training level, again, anatomy was the most difficult MD course for me in training level, because I saw shaking in that exam. But yeah, we scaled through, and then we moved on to the clinical level. I had to struggle and then devise new ways to learn pathology and pharmacology, especially pharmacology. And I'll say that formula level was like where I started consistently topping the class, and I'll share what helped me in 400 level. So for pathology, that there were 4 courses, and then there are some courses that you can pass relatively more than the others. And the courses I used to pass relatively better was hematology and chemical pathology. So I used to put in more effort for hematology and chemical pathology. Reading past questions, reading having a study schedule, reading your topics 3 times before the exam. So particularly, I used to focus on hematology. On first day of the exam, hematology and micro. On second day of exam, there's chem path and morbid. So the day before heme and micro, I will focus on my heme. I'll make sure I read my heme materials one after the other, and I do not skip anyone. Micro can stay, because I know micro, even if I know everything micro, I will not still score as high as I'll score in heme. And yeah, that was the same thing for chem path and morbid. I prioritized chem path, and then consistently I used to score 70s in chem path. But my morbid is always the style 60s, so I focused on the ones that will yield me higher, and then at the end of the day, the scores used to balance into a 70. Now for pharmacology, what I did for pharmacology was to intensify my active recall. So prior to 400 level, I never used any highlighting pen or any sticky notes or any Anki flashcards or whatever. So at 400 level, pharmacology humbled me. I had to start using sticky notes where I will write all those details of the drugs, classes of the drugs, the half-life of the drugs, the mechanism of action, and I'll paste it on my laptop or paste it on my wall. Now moving on to clinical level, I had most unexpected success in 500 level because there were two courses majorly, O&G and pediatrics. And so my O&G one, I did well. I had a 76, which was the highest across the 3 rotations. Then for my O&G two, I had my lowest score in medical school in O&G two. That was a 52, and there were a lot of factors that contributed to that. The major factors were that they changed the marking methods of the exams after we had written the exams, and then also the score was really low in our clinical exams. And at this point, I want to share something. During my clinical years, I was consistently unlucky in my traditional exams. It wasn't until final year in my medicine and surgery traditionals that I actually had some breakthrough in my traditional exams. And in my pediatrics, I also had some bad experience in my traditionals too, and then I didn't have any distinction in 500 level when it came to my pre-MB. Now preparing for the MB, that was when they released our O&G results, our O&G 2 results, and our O&G pre-MB, and I was destabilized and kind of devastated when I saw my O&G 2 score, and then I broke down. That was one of our it was during our MB revision, so I broke down. I couldn't revise anything again that day. I just took a break. I expressed myself. I called my family, my friends, seniors that could give me OT, seniors that people that could encourage me, and I just tried to get my mental health back, because I knew that okay, I was preparing for my MBA exams. I did my best. I prioritized pediatrics, my MB revision, because pediatrics was more after all. I revised pediatrics. I did an all-round revision of pediatrics, making sure I didn't leave any aspect. I revised for my picture test. I revised for my OSCE. I did very well in my pediatric exam. I had a distinction in pediatrics, even if I didn't have a pre-MB distinction. So yeah, but my O&G was still not a distinction. I had a distinction in the MBA itself, but I didn't have a distinction overall. Now moving on to my final year, the most important contributor to being the BGS was your final year, medicine and surgery in particular. So yeah, looking back from my 400 level and 500 level where we did some medicine and surgery courses, I knew that I had to put in more work. And then at this stage, I was very much scared because my traditional experiences were not so good, and I knew that I was going to do medicine and surgery traditionals in final year. So I prayed. I was very scared. I prayed. I put in my effort. But I had a discussion group, and it was very fruitful, along with a lot of prayers, attending clinical activities. That was a non-negotiable in final year for me. At the end of the day, I was now lucky this time around to have good examiners and good patients in my medicine and surgery traditionals, and then all of that added up to the fact that I had good pre-MBs. Both of them were distinctions in my medicine and surgery. And then even up to my final exams, I still tried my best. My reading was all round, was an all-rounder. I didn't focus on one aspect of the course and then leave other aspects. I tried to read all around and try to have a solid ground in all the courses. If I was to go back to 100 level, what would I have done differently? Well, what I would have done differently is definitely not academics. I'll have started extracurriculars at an earlier stage. I'll have involved myself in outreaches, volunteering experiences, involve myself in committees from an earlier level, and then I'll have invested more in my human capital. Although this is more of a personal than an academic thing. Yeah, and then what are the lessons I learned throughout the course of the medical school? Number one, you have to be perseverant, you have to be hardworking, and you have to be diligent and disciplined. Then you also need a support system, which is very important in medical school, because medical school will make you want to run mad. But then at every time you face a challenge, you always have a support system to fall back to. That's very important. And then also the importance of prayers, the importance of planning. Yeah, I learned that these things work hand in hand for success. Thank you very much.